Hi everyone, this is Arcadius and welcome back to Naval Creed. Today we'll be reviewing the next Russian battleship, that being Ismail. Now Ismail is quite similar to the previous two battleships we've reviewed. However, she does have some major differences that kind of make her a better ship and kind of make her a worse ship. So let's just take a look and just go over some general things right now. We go from 12-inch guns to 14-inch guns. But with Imperatrice Maria, we had 3 turrets facing fore and 1 turret facing aft. And now we have the complete opposite with only 1 turret facing fore and 3 turrets facing aft. So when you try and engage a target on the left side and then all of a sudden have to engage a target on the right side, you have 3 turrets that need to turn 180 degrees before, or plus, I should say, until they can engage the target on the opposing side. So this is a ship better suited for kiting. So you would have the enemy ships behind you in an angle, and you would be able to shoot there, and then angle, and then shoot from this kind of angle towards the enemy as well. So it is technically on paper, a good kiting ship. However, I find that her armor in that role is not really substantial. So this is a tier 6 battleship, and she is best played as a Fuso with New Mexico guns. If you can kind of wrap your head about what that would mean, you will do very well in this ship. You are very long, you are very wide, you don't turn that good, but your guns are powerful, and if you get all 12, 14-inch shells on target, you will feel pain, or at least the enemy will. Your secondaries are there, but not too significant. Probably more closely related to Fuso secondaries in that regards. And then absolutely no AA at all. So let's see what actual stats we have. So we have 58,900 health, 21% torpedo damage resistance, max armor of 300 millimeters, which is actually on the belt, as well as the turret faces, it looks like. So that's just under 12 inches. Don't broadside this ship. She is very similar to Fuso in her hull, where if you get broadside, you will be citadeled. And there's not much you can do about it. Let's see what else we have. 14-inch guns that have 1.9 rounds a minute, so we slow back down in regards to fire rate. And our 180-degree turn time slows down as well. It adds an extra 4 seconds. Shell velocity is pretty good. Damages for your main guns also pretty decent. I don't have any problems with those. Again, you can use high explosive or armor piercing. Either one is going to give you good damage, and with high explosive, you can have quite a few fires as well. But that's also something you can find on New Mexico and Fuso as well. Gun range, 18.9 kilometers, a secondary range of 4.4 kilometers, and a speed of 27.5 knots. So you're faster than in New Mexico, which goes 21, and I think Fuso goes 26? Actually, let's check that. Oh, that's not the right one. Fuso. 24.5, so I was actually quite a bit off. I don't think there's any real other tier 6 battleships that can match your speed, besides Dunkirk. But honestly, you're not going to run into too many of those, I would think. Alright, so going back, AA defense. Not much. I mean, you have a little. You'll knock down a couple planes. But like I said, this entire battleship line, you really don't have any impressive AA defenses. With that, let's toss into a game and see what we can do. Alright, here results game. We actually have a carrier this game as a Furious. There's a New Mexico and Ismail, 3 Fusos, an Atlanta, a Thuza, Kirov, a Thuza, a Mayhem, and an Icarus. So, nothing really strong in regards to the cruisers, but the battleships are definitely something to deal with. Well, Fusos, if you get a good broadside, not too much, and New Mexico's, you can kind of burn them down. The carrier might give us a problem, because even though it is a Furious, and I'm not exactly impressed with Furious, um, she still has decent aircraft, and I don't have the weaponry to knock them down. So I do have health buffs and speed buffs applied, so do keep that in mind. And as you can see, you do have to wait for all of your 3 rearmost turrets to rotate before you can actually engage an enemy. And now we just have to get in range. So I'm not quite sure how the detectabilities are compared to in regards to battleships and cruisers, because I don't really pay attention to that, only in regards to pretty much destroyers. But I do feel like it has a very high detection, not as great as a Fuso, obviously, but still something that is not the best. So I know I have high explosive loaded, which is actually good because I can aim at targets that I can't really accurately shoot right now. Like, I can lob some shells at this Ismail, but whether or not I'm actually going to hit it is another question. I got 1 hit. Alright. Alright, so we have a couple cruisers and a destroyer coming up towards us right now. Let's see what we can do against this cruiser before she goes in the smoke screen. And it looks like the destroyer went down. Couple more hits, destroyed a secondary gun. Not that that means much to me. It was only a 3-incher anyways. But she does have torpedoes. Alright, let's switch over to armor piercing, because even if we're not going to be able to do much against these cruisers, we are starting to get some good broadsides on the battleship. And we are kind of getting into secondary range as well, so we might be able to do something with our secondaries. Alright, let's see, there's a good Fuso target right there for our armor piercing. She's almost stationary. Alright, so 12 14-inch armor piercing shells heading out. And that is quite a bit of damage. Now, as you can see, I'm pretty much ignoring the cruisers. Even though they do have torpedoes, that is literally the only real threat they pose to me. More good damage on the Fuso. Secondaries on the Atlanta. And let's see if we can start finishing off some targets here. There goes one Fuso. Getting some secondary damage on the Atlanta. Not anything exciting, honestly. Alright, so we have a full broadside, full HP Fuso. Let's see if we can one-shot her. Alright, pretty damn close. Alright, so the Atlanta went down as well. And there's a New Mexico that's coming up to us. There's also an enemy Ismail right there. It's about to go aground. So let's send some shells her way. And then our next salvo will be for the New Mexico. So yeah, your broadside armor, not the best. Even if you don't get citadeled, you're extremely squishy. You do have that upper deck armor and casemate level, which is a really good shell trap. So do keep that in mind. And let's see what we can do against this New Mexico. 11 shells hit for 26.7 thousand damage. And they shoot back and do more at about, well, 41,000 damage. I just soaked up right there. So in terms of the first couple salvos, the New Mexico won in that regards. But I don't think she can survive that very long, considering I have almost, what is it, 30,000 more health than her right now, almost. Secondaries are actually even doing a little bit. Alright, so let's angle in just a little bit. Ricochet some, maybe not all, but at least some. And there we go, we have the New Mexico, and now we have a couple targets left. We have an Ismail, Fuzo, and the Furious that we haven't actually seen yet. Alright, so let's see if we can finish off Ismail. Oh, she is healing though. Oh, but it doesn't matter considering she just got Citadeled. Alright, so we're going to actually try and engage this Furious now. Considering the angle this Fuzo at is not the best either. I'm not quite sure how armor piercing will work against a Furious. I'm pretty sure it's just going to overpen. Yeah. Ooh, but 2 Citadels, I'll take that. Alright, let's see if I can lob this island. Ooh, we sank the Fuzo with secondaries, that's funny. And let's see, can we get the Furious? There we go, awesome. So let's see how we did. That was actually not the best game, but a pretty decent game, I would say. Alright, 269,000 damage, 5 ships sunk, 106 shell hits, 9 citadels, 4 fires, and 106 secondary hits for 6,800 base XP. 18,000 damage was in high explosive, 224,000 damage was in armor piercing. Fires did 7,500 damage, and secondaries actually did 19, or actually over 19,000 damage. So that was actually pretty decent in regards to the secondaries, though I would not go full secondary build. I've tried it. It's not exactly worth it anywhere past tier 5, and even that's pushing it a little bit. So yeah, definitely want to stay at range, definitely want to use the maximum number of guns possible. Even if you do kind of have to give a little bit of broadside, just make sure you angle back in after every salvo. But yeah, long range, medium range, just no short range. You don't really have the turning circle, and you don't really have the armor to do that, or the gun angles, honestly. So with that, I will wrap up today's video. If you liked the video, make sure you like and subscribe, and join me tomorrow while we go over Sinop, which is a very large and ungainly battleship. But she's not terrible. So again, thank you, and take care.